Hey guys, it's Eddie with Mototech. We're out here in the backyard again for the long-awaited video of the SCARburator Gen4 on the SBR 12-inch SCAR16. We tried getting this video twice already. We were out here the first time, one element or the other didn't quite cooperate. The first time it was the weather. The second time we came out here, everything was perfect. We went click, 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 and nothing happened. Turns out we test the snot out of our products here at Mototech Engineering. So much so that these things take a beating, and we had a broken firing pin. So got that on the way. It arrived earlier this week. Now we're out here again to finally film the SCAR16 video on SCARburator Gen4. And so here it is, SCARburator Gen4 hyperdrive. The main difference, of course, from Gen 3 to Gen 4 is that in Gen 3 you had 10 settings at 180 degrees to each other. And with Gen 4, you have 16 settings. And of course, you get end stops at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way to 16. And there's 290 degrees of rotation all the way around. So what ends up happening is the same open and closing of the throttle. This is a rotary throttle device. But there's a lot more resolution because there's more settings, and there's a lot more range because now I'm able to actually close the orifice a lot better off, and there's tolerances built in that are improvements, a massive amount of improvement between Gen 3 and Gen 4 is adjustability, the range, and the resolution. And of course, the overall construction of the thing's a lot smaller. You're able to fit this thing in more rails, you know, what have you, accessories around it. So one of the main features we really like about the design of SCARburator is that you have end stops, and the indicator to see what setting you're at is nowhere near the front of the gun. So you have yourself, of course, the screwdriver slot, and you have the little pin that holds everything together, and you have yourself a redundant way of knowing what setting you're at. And there's a third way of knowing what setting you're at is, of course, going to the end stops. And this is useful in complete darkness, in utter and complete darkness, where you don't want to turn on a flashlight for any reason at all, because of course, stealth, right? Operator. And you go to your setting 1, tactile feel the end stop, start counting. That means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or you can go to the 16 and count backwards from there. So in reality, you don't even need to look at this device. You don't need to read the numbers, but they're there. You know, there's all kinds of redundant ways of knowing what setting you're at. You got to make sure that you know you're in the right setting before you work with your gun or play with your gun, you know, whatever it is your application is. Without having to look, you know, or take things apart or whatever. You got end stops, and the way that SCARburator works, like I mentioned, it is a throttle device. As far as vents, the only vents on this device are the ones that are copied over from your OEM. There's little pinhole vents in your OEM device, gas plug regulator. They're copied on into here. And the only reason they're there is to self-clean the device and protect from any kind of hot-loaded ammo over spikes, you know, so that all that stuff ejects out of there in case there's an overpressure. Little pinhole vent in the front, little pinhole vents on the side. We put an extra one here just to self-clean the mechanism. Because, of course, SCARburator works by throttling, because the number one reason why you screwed a gun at the end of your suppressor, let's not forget, is because, well, number one, let's be honest, is because you want to look cool in front of your friends, right? But one or two, the main reason why you screwed a gun in front of your suppressor is because you want to remain stealthy, right? So only the vents that are necessary. We went for throttle instead of any other way of doing this because of that reason. We remain the closed system as possible. You're not emitting any whizzes or bangs or anything extra out of there. Nobody can see you. So anyway, without further ado, well, let's talk about gas jets. I scroll past this question a lot online with you guys, and like, oh, I got a SCARburator, what setting should I start at? Well, this particular gun here, it's an oddball length of barrel. It's a 12, and the recommended gas jet, or the OEM size gas jet, is for a 2-inch, for a 10-inch is a 2.0, and the OEM size gas jet for the 14-inch is something around the lines of a 1.7 or 1.8 or something like, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, I tried to interpolate just linearly between the two. I went for a 1.7, and then I realized, no, I want to tune it down some. I went for a 1.6. That's what's inside this gun right now, 1.6 with SCARburator Gen4. Reason is because the 1.7, it wasn't killing my gun fast enough. At the setting that I wanted to bring everything to the center of the adjustment range for to take better advantage of the range of SCARburator. So that allowed me to do that. And I always tell people the analogy is, well, number one, the instructions say start with your factory size regulator. The one that came in your cardboard box doesn't have to be the OEM exact gas jet. It just has to be an OEM size, any manufacturer. Start with that and then tune from there. And the analogy that I give people is that the gas jet is your fuel pump and your SCARburator is, well, your carburetor, right? So the gas jet gives you all the gas jet, all the fuel you need, and then your carburetor adjusts only what it needs, right? So if you need to increase the performance envelope, you need more push, more cycling at all the settings, then go up a jet, 1 or 2 sizes, or go down a jet, whichever one you like, depending on your application. So anyway, 1.6 in this gun, that's what I arrived at. That's where it's a sweet spot for me. I really like it here. So I'm gonna start at setting 12 right now. We're gonna start shooting, demonstrate to you guys, and we're gonna start tuning it down 2x2s, shoot a few rounds, 2 clicks down until the gun stops cycling. Then we'll add our suppressor and we'll go from there. We might even get it to not bolt hold open depending on how sooty it is or the condition of the ammo. With the suppressor on, we'll try. We're at setting 12. We'll go ahead and open the bolt. Typically I run my charging handle on the other side, but for demo purposes, so you can see it on this side. Okay, so we're gonna do a few rounds of setting 12. Okay, pretty normal ejection. It's bouncing off the brass deflector, and we're getting about 3 o'clock. Let's go down to 10. Setting 10. Okay. Some weaker ejection right there. It's just throwing it kind of overboard, touching the brass deflector. Setting 8. Okay. Setting 6. That's setting 6 right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. Running slow. Setting 4. Okay, so it's already not running. Ejecting, not chambering another one. Yep. Let's turn it down to 2. Barely ejecting. Anyway, let's go back to 4 and add our suppressor. Make sure we're empty. And this is my own Form 1 can. It's registered under Form 1 and all that. I like to build my own cans because I like that. Okay. I do have factory cans. I test with those too. This is not a flow through. This is just a baffled can with a lot of turbulent witchcraft in there to make things really quiet. You'll hear that right now. We're setting 4. Oh, we got a rack one. I love the feeling of that. I've got that Rev 2 buffer pad, the rubberized pad that's Rev 2 that's a little thicker in there, and tuned just right at setting 4 where it stops working unsuppressed. That is your threshold of cannons. You add your can, you got a nice buffer pad in there. This thing shoots like a video game. See if tune it down all the way. Let's see if we can run out of ammo. Let's see if the bolt holds open. Yeah, it held open. Even completely closed, it held open. But of course, depending on the soot level or how hot things are, right now this gun is perfectly clean, but at times it's kind of hit or miss. I've done it before where on this particular configuration, setting 1, it won't even bolt hold open. So you can do that. I'm telling you, trying to get it dirty, but you can see my shoulder's not even moving. This thing is running like Rambo's machine gun. I swear to God, this thing is nice. You can get it tuned down to the right speed and get a good rhythm with it. You never had this much adjustability, this much tuning on a SCAR system until you guys pushed me to develop these kind of things. So I want to thank all of you guys. And there's more stuff coming down the pipe, a lot cooler stuff. So thanks for watching.